Welcome to our lesson number 3 of the Form 1 topic, natural numbers. Now, in the first two lessons, we have been able to cover, define the terms natural number and digits. We have discussed the concept of place value and total value. Today, we look at the fourth part, which will be classification of natural numbers. I am your teacher, Joseph Rudel Opati. Now, these are the different, classification of natural numbers. We have even numbers, odd numbers, prime numbers, composite numbers, square numbers or squares, and lastly, cubes. So we'll be able to look at each one of them, giving relevant examples. Now, what are even numbers? Even numbers are numbers that are divisible by, the natural number 2. So any number which is divisible by 2 is called what? An even number. Such numbers include 2, 4, 18, 200. We can have 1000. These are just few examples. Of course, you can list other examples. So those are what? Even numbers. Now we go to a second, classification of natural numbers. Now, what do you call them? Odd numbers. So what are odd numbers? These are numbers that are not divisible by the natural number 2. Now, examples include, we have 3, we have 1, we have 5, 13, we have 15, 23, 17, and you can be able to list other numbers which fall, under this classification. We go to our next group. We have what you call prime numbers. So what's a prime number? Now, prime number is a number that is divisible by 1 and itself is basically a number which has only 2 factors. Examples will be numbers like what? 2. 2 has only 2 factors. That is what? 2 and 1. Now, a number like 3 has 2 factors also, 3 and 1. So these are what? Prime numbers. Now, a number like 4 has how many factors? We have 2, we have 1, and we have 4. So 2 goes here 2 times, 1 goes here 4 times, 4 goes there 1 time. Therefore 4 is not a prime number. 12, let me use 6. 6 has factors like 1, which goes there 6 times, 2 going there 3 times, 3 going there 2 times, and 6 going there 1 time. Again, 6 is not a prime number. So having discussed that, you can also on your own time find other prime numbers. Now we go to our fourth, classification. What do we have? Composite numbers. Now, what are composite numbers? Numbers which have more than 2 factors. So we said 2 has how many factors? Only 2. What is that? 1, which goes there 2, and 2, which goes there once. What about 6? 6 has more than 2 factors. We have 1, we have 2, 3, and 6. 1 goes there 6, 2 goes there 3 times, 3 goes there 2 times, 6 goes there 1 time. So 6 is an example of a composite number. We are done with that. Now we go to square numbers, or what we call squares. A square number is the product of a natural number by itself twice or 2 times. An example of a square number would be 4. How do you get 4? You multiply a natural number 2 by itself 2 times. Now another number would be 25. How do you get 25 as a square number? Multiplication of a natural number 5 by itself 2 times. So those are what? Square numbers. You can be able to, list more square numbers. we go to the last category. What do we have? Cubes. A cube is a product of a natural number by itself thrice or 3 times. For example, 8. How do you get 8? You multiply a natural number 2 by itself 3 times. We have also a number like what? 27, which would be, of course, found by multiplying natural number 3 by itself 3 times. So we are done with what? The classification of natural numbers. We look at, of course, a question from the past KCSE exam in this regard. Then maybe later we shall be able to discuss more questions. Now, this is the question. KCSE 2013, that was paper 1, question number 9. A number m is formed by writing all prime numbers between 0 and 10 in an ascending order. Then another number n is formed by writing all square numbers between 0 and 10 in ascending order. Part A of the question is find m minus n. Part B, express m minus n as a product of its prime factors. So let's do the question, of course, as we handle it bit by bit. Now, a number m. Now, how is number m described? It's formed by writing all prime numbers between 0 and 10 in ascending order. What is the first step? You list all the prime numbers between 0 and 10. Now, what do we have? The prime numbers? We have 2, we have 3, we have 5, and we have what? 7. Now, in what order? Ascending order. Meaning what? From the least to the, of course, the one with the highest value. But remember what is the question saying? A number m. The question did not say numbers. Now, the moment you say m is equal to what we have here, that becomes wrong. Why? These are 4 numbers, but m is a single number. So how do you give your value of m? M should be 2357. Don't have this comma. This was just listing the numbers found in that, of course, range, which are prime numbers. But now the required number is 2357. We go to second part, another number n. Now, how is n described? Is a number formed by writing all square numbers between 0 and 10. First of all, identify all the square numbers between 0 and 10. The square numbers are 1, because 1 times 1 is 1. Next is 4. How do you get 4? 2 times 2. Lastly is 9. How do you get 9? 3 by 3. If you square 4, what do you get? 16. 16 is not found between 0 and 10, meaning these are the only square numbers within that range of 0 to 10. But what is n? N is a number, not numbers. How is a number formed? By writing these square numbers in a descending order. Therefore, n will be equal to what? 941. So part A of the question is find m minus n. Now, what you do here, you take what? M given by 2357, then divide by, subtract 941. What do we get? We get, of course, 6, here 1, now here we get 4, and here we get 1. This is the, of course, the answer to that part A of the question. Then you're told express m minus n as a product of its prime factor. So I leave you with that part to do. Something you've been doing since your primary, so you can be able to finish that. So we shall check maybe the answer in our next part.